next step is to get good breeds of fish to stock. While you're sourcing for fish fingerlings or juveniles, it is important to visit reputable fish farms so as not to be sold runts. Stocking runts is terrible for fish farming. This is because they remain stunted throughout the period of rearing and they are easily susceptible to diseases. An extra tip here is to stock moderately and avoid overcrowding. Carrying out this practice and feeding well will result in a very good yield.
Feeding usually, as the farmer also knows, usually done when the temperature is not high. It's in the early days before at sunrise and in the evening. The rule is this: you throw, they pick, they pick, they pick, they pick. As they're picking, the rate of picking slows down. And at that time, you also hold on to see if they will pick all. So if if you throw and then in another 1 minute or two you still see the feet afloat, it means you have fed them to satiation and you don't need to feed further. Otherwise, it will increase your farm costs and it will make your water vulnerable to water pollution.
In order to make good profit in fish farming, the fish must be fed very well. The amount of feed required depends largely on the number of fish in stock. Belated feeds like Coppens, Aqua, Vital, and Scretin are advisable to use at the beginning.
You start them with 0.0 mm of copains or scraping so that it will make your fish grow faster. Again, you don't have to precautions in fish farming that will make your fish to grow well and not to go well. You have to avoid overcrowding the fish farm. You have to have a pond that when your fish are up to 2 months, you separate those that have grown more than others to another pond. Then you feed those ones that are not well grown so that they will meet the same size with the one that have well grown, so that you can get a table size fish that weigh up to 1 kg in 5 months time.
They range from 1.5 millimeters to 10 millimeters in size. After about 3 months, you can always switch to the locally made feed and use that until harvest period. Feeding is usually done twice daily, mornings at 6 a.m. and evenings at 6 p.m. Although if you're going for intensive feeding, you would require an additional feeding at 12 p.m. When feeding, it is important to know what size you are aiming for. An extra tip here is to feed very well, but avoid overcrowding, as remnant feed not eaten by the fish pollute the pond, which creates a contaminated environment for the fish. Maintaining a healthy environment for the fish includes the following practices. Regular changing of water. For tarpaulin and concrete ponds, the water should be changed every 3 to 4 days. For earthen ponds, it should be changed at least once in a month. This is because dirty water leads to the spread of diseases in the pond, which would eventually yield to a very bad loss for the farmer. Dead fish carcass should also be removed as soon as they are noticed. Now, you may ask, how much do you need to set up a fish farm? For beginners, you are advised to start small. You can start with a number of about 400 to 500 fingerlings. Your capital should be able to cover the following: the cost of the land area if you are renting or buying, cost of pond if you are renting or constructing, cost of your feeds, cost of your fingerlings and your juveniles, cost of materials like pipes, cost of measuring scale, cost of medications like multivitamins and antibiotics, and cost of transportation so you can transport your harvested fish to the market. The benefits of fish farming. Fish farming is quite profitable. For instance, with a 200,000 naira investment and with proper planning, you could make up to a 50% profit in 3 months. Fish is also in very high demand everywhere in Nigeria. So, besides selling to your local market in your state, you could easily expand your business to other markets in other states. Exporting of smoked fish is also an option. Fish farming is very easy to set up. A lot of farmers set up fish farms just behind their houses using old tanks. So, if you have a good space around you, you can easily set up a fish farm without any strict regulatory precaution. Also, unlike other farm animals, fish farming is very easy to monitor. Once you feed them in the morning, you can come back in the evening and feed them. So you can still manage your other jobs while being a fish farmer. Also, and lastly, fish sells faster in the market when compared to other meats. Therefore, it's the number one choice for people when it comes to affordability.